Hello there, folks. Welcome again to another episode of It's All About Racing. This episode is going to look at a Porsche 911 RSR 19, the Porsche GT team. This was a tribute to the 1970 victory of Porsche's first win at Le Mans. They unveiled two unique liveries for this particular event, one being red and white, the exact opposite of this one being black and white. Anyhow, so let's go ahead and take a closer look at this. As you can tell, this is one of the 24 Hours of Le Mans series. You know that from seeing the spark here, and it says 24 Hours of Le Mans on it, 2020 over there. If you turn it around, this is the Pro Entry number 92. The back of it shows which looks like a racetrack in the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Then if you take a look underneath it, it has all the proper licensing for the 24 Hours Le Mans, Porsche 911 RSR 19 Porsche GT team. So now let's unbox this and take a look at it in closer detail. One thing you will notice with all Spark models is they come with an outer case. In this case, this one being a 24 Hours Le Mans box, which we looked at. They're on in this case, this is actually a wooden base. It is not plastic, as this is not a limited edition model, being one of the 24 Hours Le Mans. It has a jewel box, which you can remove, and I've got tape on the end of it, so give me just a moment to pull that off. Anyhow, so here we are back looking at it. This is an absolutely phenomenal model. I just love black Porsche 911s. I particularly love a Porsche 911 RSR 19 like you see right here. Note that this has the side exhaust. Remember, folks, this is a Porsche RSR, so it is a mid-engine vehicle with the side exhaust, and they've left room for this massive diffuser that you have in the back of it. It's one of the reasons they moved the engine forward, closer to the cockpit and away from the back of the car. Doesn't affect handling too significantly. In fact, it actually makes it better. But anyhow, this is looking at a very close look at it, and now what I'll focus in here is look at the interior details. I mean, look at that steering wheel. It is absolutely gorgeous. You can see the seat, the netting, some of the interior tubing. And if you take a look towards the back here, you get a really good look at those wheels. I mean, look at those beautiful, finely sculpted wheels with the brake calipers, as well as the brake rotor, that side exhaust we talked about. Very, very nice side event. Look at the running boards at the side of it, just super wide, super cool. B-pillar, all carbon fiber detail around it. Very nicely done. You can tell this is a Pro Entry with the 24 Hours of Le Mans door panel there. And now we're going to take a look at the front of the car. And now you start getting to see this, you wonder what this 1970 is. When you look at the front of the car, you're kind of getting a look at it now, because all of a sudden you see 19 right there. And if you lift it up even higher and you take a look at it, I'm going to move this thing around to show you. And then you take a look at it, you can clearly see 1970, the 70 being on the door top. And the color of the car goes from black to white as you turn it around to the side. This is an exceptionally well-detailed car. The interior looked at from the side view. Now you can clearly see the steering wheel and everything, as well as other interior details. Notice you have these emergency pull tabs and a button there. One of them allows an emergency worker to pull it and activate the fire extinguisher in the engine compartment. The other one cuts off power to the car. The details of the headlights are phenomenal. Look at that. Look at that beautiful grille. Look at that carbon splitter with RSR on it. You see the Porsche logo clearly. Fog lights. Gorgeous carbon air inlets for the radiator that you have up front. I mean, what a phenomenal looking car. Take a look at the side here, and again you can see that 1970 aspect of it. Now you're getting to the white side of the car, and if there's any color I like other than a black Porsche, it's a white Porsche. So this gives me two of my favorite colors all in one car. I absolutely love it. This being professional Pro Entry, you have Michael Christensen, Kevin Estery, and Lawrence Vantor as the drivers of it, as you can see on this side of the base. You take a look at it from here, you got the running board, and take a look at the interior there. I mean, there's a nice look, looking through the passenger side interior, of more of the interior details. The netting, I'd say they did an absolutely phenomenal job with this. What you see there, that little blue ring on the B pillar, that is the air jack inlet as well as the release tab for that. That is that little thingy sticking out there. I don't want to get near touching it because you touch it, it's liable to fall off. It is so sensitive. These are not play toys, folks. These are serious models. They're fairly expensive. And they deserve the respect to be what it is. I would really recommend not touching them if you can. One thing that kind of disturbs me a little bit is when I see other folks reviewing their models, when they touch them and they turn them around, and I'm like, oh, please don't do that, because I'll tell you, folks, I have damaged models doing it, and model repairs are, they're difficult, let's just put it that way. Now, particularly, antennas are fairly easy to repair, but other things are not, like the wind area you have on there. But anyhow, this thing is loaded with aerials, as you can see there clearly. We take a look and go into the back. Beautiful rear wing, boss on the end of it, Porsche. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to take a look under this wing because it is really badass looking. You get underneath it, and let's see if I can do it without having to move the car. And you can see where it says 1970 underneath that. I'm gonna touch the base here. I'm gonna pull this up to let you. I don't want to touch the model itself. I do want to get under that to show you what it looks like. And there you see 1970 under there. Very cool. One of the little, I guess you could call it a little Easter egg that you get with the car. The beautiful end is of course, is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, just the details, folks, is amazing. The one thing you do notice missing is there is no rear exhaust in the back of this car. It's supposed to be that way because remember it's on the side. But look at that rear diffuser. It is big. It is deep. It's got red outlines along it in the back of the car. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful car. As I say, this is one of my personal favorites. You know, had I bought this one as a Porsche limited dealer's edition, which believe me, I did look for it. I couldn't find one. I would have, because I absolutely would have loved to have gotten that being a limited edition model. This one is not, and I have seen these available on eBay. They are a little pricey because, you know, they are, you know, this was a one-off livery. And, you know, Porsche designed this. The bad news is, and I'll just break this to you now, because Porsche no longer supports factory teams in the IMSA WeatherTech series, and next year they will have none in the World Endurance Championship. I have a feeling the end of these Porsche liveries is gone for good, at least until they bring factory teams back again, because it is the Porsche factory that does this. It's not the customer teams that you're going to have. Now, granted, Porsche is always going to have their hands involved in some of these teams. They will have professional drivers, guys like Van Thor and the like, so they're not going to get fired. I mean, they're already in Porsche's prototype teams. But anyhow, they're not going anywhere. But that, unfortunately, is one of the changes that is going to be made. And gosh, just look at the interior of that again. I mean, wow, just look at that. Tell me if that isn't absolutely stunning, folks. I'll tell you, this is a car you want. It's a car you got to have. It is super cool. It is super badass. Folks, enjoy. If you've really enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. And subscribe.